If you're getting ready for the fundamentals of surveying exam, you know just how much you need to cram into your brain. But what if I told you that you get one, officially approved, secret weapon on exam day? Well, today, we're pulling back the curtain on the FS Reference Handbook. Seriously, think about it. You're in that quiet room, the clock is ticking, and the pressure is on. You can't have your notes, you can't have textbooks, and you definitely can't Google anything. So what's the one thing they do let you use?
You got it. This handbook, it's given to you as a searchable PDF right on the exam computer, and it is your absolute lifeline. So figuring out how to use this thing isn't just a suggestion, it's a huge piece of your exam day strategy.
Okay, so let's get the ground rules straight. First off, it's a digital PDF. You can search it, which is awesome, but you can't bring your own copy. No printouts, no nothing. That means you've got to get to know the official version before you're in the hot seat. And maybe the most important fact of all, it does not have everything. It's a reference, not a replacement for actually knowing your stuff.
So here's what we're going to do. We'll look at why this thing is your secret weapon. Then we'll dive into the biggest part, the formulas. After that, we'll check out the sections on being a pro, ethics and safety. We'll hit the essential tables and then wrap it all up with a game plan for you to succeed.
All right, let's kick things off by figuring out what this handbook actually is, and, just as critical, what it is not.
You don't even have to take my word for it. NCEES, the folks who run the show, spell it out right here. The big takeaway from this is that it's not a cheat sheet. It's there to handle the really complex formulas and super detailed tables, freeing up your brain power to focus on the things you're expected to know, the core theories and ideas.
Now for the main event, let's get into the section you're probably going to spend the most time in during the exam. We're talking about the formulas. See that number? 3. That's for Chapter 3, Mathematical and Surveying-Related Formulas. This is the beast. It's the biggest, most jam-packed section in the entire handbook, and for a very good reason. It's where all the calculation firepower lives.
And the range in here is just, wow. It goes from the basics, like trigonometry and equations for a straight line, all the way up to the heavy-duty stuff like geodesy and state plane coordinates. It's pretty much a mathematical arsenal, right at your fingertips.
So let's make it real. Imagine you get a question about a horizontal circular curve. Your heart skips a beat. You can't quite remember the exact formula for the tangent length. You know the radius is involved, and the angle. But what was it?
Instead of freaking out, you just search the PDF for horizontal curve. And bam, up pops the diagram with all the key formulas. And there it is. T equals R tan of I over 2. Problem solved. You just saved yourself a ton of time and stress. That's the magic of this handbook.
And it's not just curves. Look at this list. You've got formulas for vertical curves, photogrammetry, stuff for curvature and refraction, EDM, and even earthwork calcs like the average end area method. It even covers probability and statistics. It's all in there waiting for you.
Okay, but being a great surveyor isn't all about math, right? The exam knows this, and so does the handbook. That's why it also covers what I call the professional's playbook: economics, ethics, and safety.
See, the whole profession really stands on these 3 pillars. You have to understand the business side of things, you have to follow a strict ethical code, and you've got to put safety first, always. These sections are every bit as important as the formulas.
So in the ethics section, you'll find the surveyor's canons. And these are not just some nice ideas, they're the hard and fast rules, like Canon 1, which is basically our prime directive: do no harm to the public. Or Canon 3, which says, stay in your lane, don't take jobs you're not qualified for. And Canon 5, which is all about client confidentiality. They're in the handbook to remind you what this job is really about.
Then you get to the safety section, and it gives you these really clear definitions. Take the word risk. It's not just some fuzzy concept. The handbook actually defines it with an equation. Risk equals the hazard, which is the thing that can cause harm, times the probability that it'll actually happen. This gives you a structured way to think about safety.
And a perfect example of a practical tool is this, the hazard diamond. It's a standard you'll see everywhere for quickly sizing up chemical hazards. Blue is for health, red is for flammability, yellow tells you about instability, and the white diamond is for any special hazards. Knowing how to read this could be a question on the exam for sure.
All right, let's move on to the unsung heroes of the handbook.
These are the little utility sections, the tables and lists that can save you from making a simple mistake that costs you big time.
Here is a classic trap, the U.S. survey foot versus the international foot. Look how close those numbers are. It's a tiny, tiny difference. But stretch that out over a few miles, and you've got a massive error on your hands. The handbook gives you the exact conversion factors, so you never have to guess.
And you've got to love this section. It's pure gold for saving time. The exam is going to throw a bunch of industry abbreviations at you. If you see one you don't know, a quick search here can keep you from getting totally lost.
Quick, what's GLO? Or SPCS? You might know them now, but when you're under pressure, it's easy to blank. Well, the handbook has a whole list. ALTA, GIS, LiDAR, they're all here. Just knowing this list exists is a huge leg up.
So we've seen what's inside the handbook, but now for the most critical part, how you actually turn this knowledge into a passing score on the exam. Here it is, your 4-step strategy. Step 1, get familiar with it now. Don't let exam day be the first time you've ever seen it. Step 2, know its limits. Remember, it won't teach you the basics. Step 3, and this is huge, master the search function. Learn to find what you need fast. And step 4, practice with it. Every single time you do a practice test, have the handbook PDF open. Make using it second nature.
Look, at the end of the day, this handbook is way more than just a study aid. It's basically a snapshot of the tools a real working professional surveyor uses every day. Learning how to use it isn't just about passing an exam. It's about learning how to be a professional. This is your first tool. So the only question left is, are you ready to master it?